The third Saturday in October is upon us, Ari, and that makes me sad that it's already 3 Saturdays into October at the end of this week. But it also makes me excited because it means Tennessee is headed to Tuscaloosa to play Alabama. There will be cigar smoke wafting from somewhere when this game ends. This is one of the great rivalries in college football that has become so much more dramatic now that Tennessee is actually making a rivalry of it and winning the occasional game in this series. This is a huge game for both teams, both of them with a loss. Tennessee has one in the SEC. Alabama's losses out of conference, but still, nobody wants to be behind the 8 ball for the rest of the season. This is a must-win for both teams. For Alabama, it's the end of a very tough stretch. Well, it's not the end yet because they still have to play South Carolina, but it is the continuation of a very tough stretch that started with the Georgia game, continued with the Vandy game, continued with a road game at Missouri. And Alabama has handled this all so well. I think they're probably one of the hottest teams in the country. Ty Simpson, front runner for the Heisman Trophy. Everything seems to be going very well for Alabama right now, even though they didn't blow Missouri's doors off. But again, we're going to find out, I think, as the season goes on, just going up to Missouri and winning on the road is a very big deal.
Yeah. Alabama, I think, has probably done enough, at least from my standpoint, to assert itself as one of the 5 best teams in the sport right now. Winning those 3 games, regardless of whether it was by a point or by 40, this isn't the old days of college football now. Winning those games
points don't matter.
Winning is what matters now. And Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri is a heck of a gauntlet. And it almost feels like it's unfair that they've got to play Tennessee on Saturday. But it
doesn't feel unfair. It does feel unfair. This is, Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida. They got some stretches in their schedule that are just horrific. Arkansas, Mississippi State do too. But these stretches compared to what some of the other teams have to play, and I think Tennessee's a good example of this. Tennessee doesn't have to face anything like this season. So,
but I'm excited because I think that Alabama is a really good team.
Yeah,
I think we can just say that now. And Tennessee is a team that's kind of hovering around the top 10 every week. Gave some consideration to putting Tennessee in my top 10, and it's like we don't know.
This is Tennessee's chance to say, "Hey, we belong in the playoff. We deserve to be here."
Yeah, because right now, Tennessee's claim to fame is playing a close game with Georgia, and as Georgia is playing close games with everybody like that, I don't know, what the takeaway from that is. So, going on the road and playing a team, wearing my BetMGM shirt here. Let's guess the line here, Andy. What do you think it is?
Alabama minus 7.5.
Yeah, it's 8.5. So You're close. So you're looking at 2 possessions regardless. And I know the BetM, early in the week, these lines change quickly, and check BetMGM to continue to see where that heads. But the viewpoint is here that Alabama is a possession or about 2 better. And Tennessee's offense has been really fun to watch this year. Are they going to be able to go into Tuscaloosa, put up a bunch of points, and put some pressure on this Alabama team that, you would think conventional wisdom would tell you is beaten up a little bit after this last 3 weeks that they've gone through?
Well, and this is where I worry about Alabama, because the one big loss in the Missouri game, and we don't know what his situation is going to be this week. We'll have to monitor this throughout the week. Is Jam Miller, the tailback, gets a concussion at the end of the Missouri game. Their offense is very different with him and without him. He wasn't playing earlier this year when they played against Florida State. When they got him back, it changed everything. So let's look at the Missouri game. Jam Miller had 20 carries for 85 yards. He also had 4 catches for 25 yards. But the rest of Alabama's running backs against Missouri, Daniel Hill, 6 carries for 16 yards. That's a 2.7 average. Kevin Riley, 6 for 16, also 2.7. They handed the ball to Caden Proctor. He got 2 yards. That was pretty awesome. I don't think you're gonna expand that package, but
why not?
Well, maybe
awesome.
Might need to.
He was agile.
If Jam Miller can't play, and again, we don't know. He got a concussion. The way concussion protocol works is there is a path to getting back within a week, but it is a narrow path. And so if there are any other issues, then probably you don't see him again until the South Carolina game. If he can't play, it puts so much more on Ty Simpson and the passing game, because he's so reliable, even against team like Missouri is good against the run. Jam Miller was averaging 4.3 yards a carry against Missouri, which isn't going to give up that kind of yardage to most people. Tennessee probably is not going to allow a normal running back to just run through them. I think Jam Miller would be able to rack up some yards against them. But if he isn't playing, then it puts a lot more stress on Ty Simpson to just carry it with his arm.
Yeah. That said, feel pretty confident in that notion if it has to happen. More so than ever before. Andy and I were watching the Missouri-Alabama game in the press box at the Red River Rivalry on Saturday, and I think both of us are pretty impressed by what we were watching there.
I mean, Ty Simpson is just incredible on 3rd and 4th down, and people were joking when I tweeted it that he remains an incredibly safe bet on 3rd down, and then after the touchdown pass at the end of the game on 4th and 1, I quote tweeted that and I said he's also an incredibly safe bet on 4th down, and somebody's like, yeah, but if he was really good on 3rd down, there would be no 4th down. So I'm like, guys,
it's true,
guys, we're picking nits here. This guy's awesome when the chips are down, and you can say there's no clutch gene. That doesn't. I'm sorry. If you continually do that over and over again, I'm going to believe you. And I believe Ty Simpson because he keeps doing this over and over again. So
he's incredibly accurate, very agile, very escapable in the pocket. I don't know if we want to open up this wound right now of why wasn't he playing more last year, but I had that thought.
We don't have to do that. We don't need to torture the Alabama people with that. But I really like what he brings. And especially in a situation like this, where you're going to have to get a little extra, and maybe Ty Simpson gives you a little extra in the run game. On the flip side of that, Tennessee is about to play a team. Tennessee, coming off a 31 win against Arkansas. Obviously, that's a weird situation. Bobby Petrino taking over. Arkansas had an open date to prepare for the Vols. But Tennessee's defense, they gave up some points. Also, Tennessee's offense scored easily against a defense that has been Swiss cheese all year long. It's going to be harder for Tennessee to move the ball against Alabama. Is Deshaun Bishop going to average 10 yards a carry like he did on Saturday? No, he's not. So this puts the onus on Joey Aguilar. This is going to be a Joey Aguilar versus Ty Simpson situation.
Yeah.
Whichever quarterback plays better, that's who's going to win.
Yeah. I'm looking at Tennessee's schedule right now, and they are 5-1, and they lost a heartbreaker at home against Georgia. But the wins over Syracuse, East Tennessee State, UAB, Mississippi State, and Arkansas don't do much for me from a resume standpoint.
And you went overtime in Starkville.
Right. So now you're looking at a pretty manageable schedule. Alabama, Oklahoma, and Vanderbilt are the only ranked teams remaining. Kentucky, New Mexico State, and Florida.
If Tennessee wins this game, you're feeling very good about Tennessee's chances of making the playoff.
Yeah. First time, as our producer points out eagerly for the second time, that Tennessee didn't score 40 for the first time in this game.
Yeah, and against what we've seen from Arkansas's defense so far, I don't think that's because you're kind of bragging there that they scored 40 in all the other ones, but the fact that you didn't score 40 against Arkansas is actually troubling.
Well, I'm just trying to look forward into playoff scenarios, because you know what? It's October 12th as we're recording this right now. It's time to do that. Tennessee, if it wants to be in the mix, has to have a quality win chip here. And if they lose this game, your quality wins are resting on the shoulders of Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. And I'm not sure.
We don't know what they're going to look like.
Those are going to look like at the end. So
maybe
10
confidence. At least one of them will be.
I mean, do you think 10-2 with no quality wins in the SEC is a playoff resume? I don't know. Maybe we'll get into that more.
Probably, because I think the advanced stats are going to say the advanced stats are going to like Mississippi State, which beat Arizona State, and they're going to like Oklahoma because of the schedule they played, and they beat Michigan. So I do think Tennessee will be fine if they're 10-2. But if one of these is the 10, if they beat Alabama and that's one of the 10,
I think
they are in.
The thought is, winning this weekend and you're in, and that's a pretty exciting feeling. Now, of course, you got to keep winning. One extra game to lose, though, because if you have Alabama win on your resume and you're 10-2 and one of your losses is to Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, or Florida, that's not going to be a big deal for them at the end of the year. So, monumental game for Tennessee to not only prove that it belongs and to show the world that the best thing about it isn't a close loss to Georgia, but it's also, in my opinion, a free roll playoff game.
It's going to be fun. I cannot wait to smell the cigar smoke. If you've ever covered one of these games, if the home team wins, you start smelling cigar smoke everywhere. If the visiting team wins, it's just in the locker room. So we will see. Will everybody be smelling cigar smoke in Tuscaloosa? Or just that one little part of the stadium? We're going to find out on Saturday, third Saturday in October, Tennessee, Alabama. The stakes couldn't be higher.